Have you ever wondered how the notorious Mumbai underworld came to be? In the aftermath of India's independence, the city of Mumbai began to evolve, its rapid growth and bustling ports providing the perfect breeding ground for an underworld of crime. This was a time of change, a time of opportunity, and for some, a time of illicit activities. The first seeds of the Mumbai underworld were sown during this post-independence era, as various elements of society began to dabble in the shadowy world of crime. The dockyards of Mumbai, bustling with activity and rife with opportunities for smuggling, became the epicenter of these early criminal activities. These weren't just petty thieves or small-time crooks. No, these were organized groups, operating with a level of sophistication that had been unseen until then. From smuggling goods to illegal trade, the dockyard gangs were the first real face of the Mumbai underworld. But as the years rolled on, the face of the Mumbai underworld began to change. The 1960s and 70s witnessed the emergence of organized crime syndicates, marking a new chapter in the city's criminal history. These weren't just gangs anymore. These were criminal enterprises, operating on a scale that was both astounding and terrifying. They had structure, they had hierarchy, and most importantly, they had power. This was also the time when key figures began to rise to prominence. Men who would command respect and instill fear. Men who would shape the underworld into what it is known as today. They emerged from the shadows, their names becoming synonymous with the Mumbai underworld. They were kingpins, dons, masters of a world that operated outside the law. As the city grew, so did its underworld, with key figures emerging to take control. This was the birth of the Mumbai underworld, a parallel world that thrived in the shadows of the City of Dreams. Its roots were now firmly entrenched in the city's economic and social fabric. The stage was set for an era of crime that would leave an indelible mark on the city, and indeed on the whole nation. Who were the puppet masters pulling the strings of the Mumbai underworld? Let's dive into the key figures who shaped this notorious world. First on the list is Haji Mastan. This name echoes in the annals of Mumbai's underworld history as one of the earliest dons. He started off his criminal career in the murky waters of smuggling and then diversified into real estate. His influence was so significant that he essentially laid the groundwork for the underworld's operations. Alongside Haji Mastan, there were other influential figures like Karim Lala and Varadarajan Mudaliar. Karim Lala, known as the godfather of the Indian mafia, was a formidable force in the underworld. He controlled the illegal gambling dens in Mumbai and had his fingers in various illicit pies, from liquor dens to hashish trade. Varadarajan Mudaliar, fondly known as Varda Bai, was another big name. He started off as a porter and rose through the ranks to become one of the most feared dons in the city. He ruled the roost in the areas of Dharavi, Matunga, and Sion Koliwada. These figures were not only notorious for their criminal activities, but also for their Robin Hood-like personas. They were known to help the poor and needy, making them popular figures among the masses. But don't be fooled by this seeming benevolence. Their ruthless tactics and cunning strategies helped them control the city's underworld, making them feared and respected in equal measure. These men and others like them were the architects of the Mumbai underworld. They built a system that operated outside the law, thriving on the city's economic and social disparities. Their influence was so pervasive that they became an integral part of Mumbai's fabric, shaping its history and culture in profound ways. So, who were these puppet masters? They were men of ambition and power who knew how to navigate the dark underbelly of the city. They were the ones who laid the foundation for what would become a sprawling criminal empire. These were the men who laid the foundation for what would become a sprawling criminal empire. One name stands out when we talk about the Mumbai underworld: Dawood Ibrahim. Rising from the gritty streets of Mumbai in the 70s and 80s, Dawood Ibrahim's name became synonymous with the city's underworld. Starting as a small-time criminal, his ruthless ambition and cunning tactics catapulted him to the top echelons of the underworld. With a keen eye for opportunity and an iron fist, he gradually grew into a major player in organized crime, eventually establishing the notorious D Company. The D Company wasn't merely a criminal syndicate. It was a well-oiled machine involved in a wide array of illicit activities. From smuggling and extortion to contract killings and drug trafficking, the D Company's reach was extensive and its influence pervasive. Under Dawood's leadership, the Mumbai underworld transformed into a formidable mafia, its tentacles reaching far beyond the city's shores. But Dawood Ibrahim's rise to notoriety didn't stop with the formation of the D Company. In the early 90s, he allegedly masterminded one of the most devastating acts of terror in Indian history, the 1993 Mumbai bombings. These bombings, carried out in retaliation for the demolition of the Babri Masjid, resulted in widespread destruction and loss of life. The city of dreams was left in ruins, and its people in shock. The 1993 bombings didn't just mark a dark day in Mumbai's history, they also turned the international spotlight on the city's underworld. The world was forced to take notice of the power and reach of the Mumbai Mafia. The bombings also marked a significant shift in the operations of the underworld, with its activities becoming increasingly intertwined with terrorism and global organized crime. Dawood Ibrahim's reign over the Mumbai underworld represented a new era of organized crime. The small-time criminals of the past had given way to powerful dons, capable of orchestrating large-scale criminal operations and even acts of terror. Dawood Ibrahim's reign marked a significant shift in the operations and impact of the Mumbai underworld. His legacy, for better or for worse, continues to shape the city's underworld even today. So how does the underworld sustain itself? Delving into the dark underbelly of Mumbai's underworld, we find a plethora of illegal activities that keep these criminal syndicates afloat. A significant part of their operations involves smuggling. Be it gold, arms, or contraband items, the underworld has its hands in all. These black market dealings have been a consistent source of income, helping to maintain their stronghold over the city. But smuggling isn't the only method they employ. Extortion, or as it's often glamorously termed in popular culture, protection money, is another major revenue stream. The role of the underworld isn't limited to the shadows. They exert a strong influence over various industries and construction projects, often controlling them through force and intimidation. Businesses, both big and small, and individuals alike, find themselves at the mercy of these criminal syndicates, paying large sums of money for protection or facing dire consequences. Now let's not forget the realm of narcotics. The Mumbai underworld has been deeply entwined with the drug trade. Trafficking narcotics isn't just a lucrative business for them, but it also enables them to wield power and control over vulnerable populations. The drug trade, with its high profits and demand, provides the underworld with resources to expand its operations and maintain its stronghold on the city. So you see, the criminal activities of the Mumbai underworld are far from one-dimensional. These syndicates operate a well-oiled machine of illegal activities, each playing its part in the larger scheme of their operations. They take advantage of the city's vast network, its bustling population, and its economic disparities to conduct their operations. Each of these illicit activities isn't just a means to an end for them, but a carefully strategized move in their grand game of power and control. These illicit activities not only fuel the underworld's operations, but also significantly impact the city's economy and social fabric. Has the Mumbai underworld met its downfall? The once formidable Mumbai underworld has experienced a noticeable decline in recent years. A significant reason for this downturn has been the relentless crackdown by law enforcement agencies in India. Through numerous operations and initiatives, they have managed to curb the influence of these criminal syndicates. High-profile underworld figures have found themselves on the receiving end of the law, with many either arrested or killed in encounters. But the story doesn't end there. Some elements of the Mumbai underworld have taken their operations global. Figures like Dawood Ibrahim are believed to have fled the country and continue to orchestrate their activities from overseas. This international dimension has made it imperative for law enforcement to seek international cooperation. Tackling the activities of these individuals now requires a global effort, adding a layer of complexity to an already challenging task. Yet, as they say, nature abhors a vacuum. The Mumbai underworld has not remained static. It has undergone transformations, with new criminal elements entering the scene. These fresh faces are eager to fill the power vacuum left by the departure of the old guard. This influx has led to succession battles and internal conflicts, adding a new dynamic to the underworld landscape. The underworld's ability to adapt and evolve, coupled with its international reach, means that it remains a significant concern. While its influence within Mumbai may have waned, it continues to operate, albeit in a different form, and often from outside the country's borders. The decline of the Mumbai underworld is a testament to the tenacity of law enforcement. Yet the ongoing challenges remind us that the fight against organized crime is far from over. While the Mumbai underworld has seen a decline, it continues to pose significant challenges, both domestically and internationally. The story of the Mumbai underworld is far from finished, and its next chapter remains to be written.